guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today we're going to talk about 5 of the best cars I drove this month. So I review 100 cars a year, maybe 200 cars a year, and then I do an end of the year video and I talk about my top 5. There's so many other good cars that I want to talk about, maybe do this on a monthly basis. So we'll talk about the reviews I did the month before, and then I could add some color, because the problem is I typically only have the cars for about 30 minutes to an hour to review them, and I only can say so much in the video, and then I want to tell you what I think about that cars, and maybe we can kind of compare it with other cars. So starting off the month of January, starting off of 2022, my dream car, probably if I can have any car at this moment, which was the 992 GT3 with a manual transmission. And it was in that new color, Python Green, I think it's called. Phenomenal, phenomenal car, so definitely check out that video. That's my dream car. I think that should be every dream car if you follow the channel here. And if you like the channel, remember, subscribe, like, and share. YouTube algorithm, they got to see likes and they got to see comments. So you want me to get me to 20,000 subscribers? You want to see cooler cars? That's how we get there with more subscribers. So again, dream car, 992 GT3. Check that out. Manual transmission. Oh, amazing, amazing car. Then after that, let's see, what did we drive? We drove the Lamborghini Huracan Evo, and it was a Spider. Now, if you know about your Lamborghinis, they come in all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. So we drove actually an all-wheel drive version, which was good because it was about 20 degrees that day. And that's one of my favorite cars ever. Probably my favorite Lamborghini right now, and I've driven all of them. So we've reviewed the Gallardo, an 06 Gallardo recently. I think we did that in December. A couple years ago, and this might be my favorite of all time Lamborghini, we drove a Lamborghini Murcielago with a 6-speed manual. But it wasn't an early 0203 car. I believe it was an 06. It was an LP 640. So they only made one of 26 years. Ed Bolian talks about this all the time. Only 26 of those LP 640 cars had a manual transmission. I drove one of them. It was black on black, my friend John Norrie's car, and it was just amazing. Probably one of the most visceral driving experience ever. Fantastic, fantastic car. We've driven the regular Huracan. We drove the 580-2. We drove the Aventador. The Aventador was pretty cool. We did that review last year. We drove the Huracan when my channel first started, which was probably 2017. So we've driven basically all the Lamborghinis. I think my favorite was, not counting a Murcielago stick shift, but I mean a car that I would really rack up the miles on, that Huracan Evo, and my favorite in that verde green paint. It was too cold to bring the top down. It's a little hard, compared to my R8. They both have the V10 engines. There's a lot more room, and the R8 is a very roomy 2-seater compared to the Huracan, just from the angle of the shape. I'm 6 feet tall, and I was literally touching the headliner. Now, maybe the convertible drops in an inch or two over the coupe, because I know I drove the 580-2, and I know the cabin was tight, but I don't remember my head being on top of it, the headliner, but maybe it was. And that car just sounds amazing. It handles amazing. You could take the top down, the look, the color, the whole bit. So one of my favorite Lamborghinis ever. Me personally, I think I would take the 992 manual, just because next level, the newest, thing from Porsche, but probably... Well, I think the stick shift will be better, since the 992 GT3 is available in stick or PDK. That was a stick. You may do better as a long-term investment, but I think you can't go wrong with an RS car. Even though the modern RS cars have the PDK, I still think you can't go wrong with that as a long-term investment, 10, 20 years out. And then what else did we drive? We drove one of my favorite cars, which is in the running for a daily driver, and that's the 2018 Mercedes E63S. I did a video back in April of 2021, fell in love with that car. I did a 2014, one of my neighbors years ago, and so I did another 2018 because I love that car after driving so many cars. So it's definitely a size bigger. Obviously, it competes with the M5, not this M340iX drive, which is my daily driver now. So compared to this car, it's definitely a size bigger. But what AMG does better than Porsche, better than BMW, better than anybody, is they make turbocharged engines sound good. So you have that 4-liter V8, twin-turbo V8, and it sounds like a monster. It sounds like a muscle car. It's way more muscle car than the M5. I would say the M5 handles better, but they're both 4,400-pound cars or whatever they are. And I just like the Mercedes. It's just more of a raw beast experience, kind of like a more raw experience, if you can even say that for a modern car. The M5 is definitely the corner carver. The M5, I don't know, it probably has better looks, I think, than the Mercedes. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But the Mercedes is just like more muscle car type, which I think is fine for a daily driver. And they both have, modern conveniences, massage seats, high-end stereos, and stuff like that. But I think I like the Mercedes better. The downside of the Mercedes is the stiff ride. I don't know if that was conveyed. I think I said that in the video, but it was a pretty stiff ride for AMG. So that's where I think they fall short of BMW M. I think BMW has a really good ride, where Mercedes has, and everybody else has, a much rougher ride. I think BMW's kind of mastered the good as a daily driver and also good in the canyons type of car. Where the other ones, like if you want the AMG version, you want the sport version, it's a harsh ride and you have to live with that for a daily driver. So let me know, out of those 5 cars, what was your favorite? The 5 cars, the Huracan Evo, Spider, all-wheel drive. Oh, I forgot a car. 992 4S. So I love the 992. That would be a great daily driver for me. I watch the prices all the time. That came out in 2020 model year. I believe the car we drove was a slightly used 2020. It was a 4S convertible. Again, 20-degree day. Same day we drove the Huracan Evo. Couldn't take the top down, but just a fantastic, fantastic car. It's not visceral like the AMG. It's not visceral like the Huracan. The 992s are definitely a size bigger. So to me, they're daily drivers. They're ultimate daily drivers, not GT3 type backroad slayers. But I do love the 992, and I wouldn't mind have a 4 or 4S. I think my daily driver, I want to definitely be all-wheel drive car. I'm a commercial real estate broker. I have to run my real estate business. I have to be somewhere, whether it's snowing or not. So I definitely want the all-wheel drive, whether it's the new M3, the M5, an E63, a 992 4S. I would put winter tires in it, and I would definitely want the all-wheel drive. So out of those cars, vote between what's your favorite, 992 GT3, I think that'll get most of the votes, the Huracan Evo, the 992 4S, or the E63S sedan. Let me know in the comments below, and then we'll do this again next month. We'll pick a car at the month of the month, and at the end of the year, we'll do car of the year. So out of those choices, I guess I'd have to pick the 992 GT3. I'd be crazy not to on this channel. That's all about manual transmission sports cars. Thanks again for watching, guys. Remember to like and comment and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit the notification bell. Only 10% of you hit the notification bell. You'll get notified every time I post a video, which is 2 to 3 times a week. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.